Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff, and this is our daily lectionary readings for Friday, November 4th, 2022. Psalm 17, 1 through 9 is our psalm reading. Genesis chapter 38, verses 1 through 26 is our Old Testament reading. And Acts chapter 24, verses 10 through 23 is our New Testament reading. Let us listen in. Psalm 19. Hear a just cause, O Lord. Attend to my cry. Give ear to my prayer from lips free of deceit. From you let my vindication come. Let your eyes see the right. If you try my heart, if you visit me by night, if you test me, you will find no wickedness in me. My mouth does not transgress. As for what others do, by the words of your lips, I have avoided the ways of the violent. My steps have held fast to your paths. My feet have not slipped. I call upon you, for you will answer me, O God. Incline your ear to me. Hear my words. Wondrously show your steadfast love, O Savior of those who seek refuge from the adversities at your right hand. Guard me as the apple of your eye. Hide me in the shadows of your wings from the wicked who despoil me, my deadly enemies who surround me. Our Old Testament reading comes from the book of Genesis, chapter 38. It happened at the time that Judah went down from his brothers and settled near a certain Adamite whose name was Hirah. These Judah saw the daughter of a certain Canaanite whose name was Shua. He married her and went in to her. She conceived and bore a son, and he named her Again, she conceived and bore a son, whom she named Onan. Yet again, she bore a son, and she named him Shelah. She was in Chezbin when she bore him. Judah took a wife for his firstborn. Her name was Tamar. But Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord put him to death. Then Judah said to Onan, Go in to your brother's wife and perform the duties of brother-in-law to her. Raise up offspring for your brother. But since Onan knew that the offspring would not be his, he spilled his semen on the ground whenever he went into his brother's wife, so that he would not give offspring to his brother. What he did was displeasing in the sight of the Lord, and he put him to death also. Then Judah said to his daughter-in-law Tamar, Remain a widow in your father's house until my son Shelah grows up, for he feared that he too would die like his brothers. So Tamar went to live in her father's house. In course of time, the wife of Judah, Shua's daughter, died. When Judah's time of mourning was over, he went up to Timnah to his sheep shearers, he and his friend Hirah the Adamite. When Tamar was told, Your father-in-law is going up to Timnah to shear the sheep, she put off her widow's garment, put on a veil, wrapped herself up, and sat down at the entrance to Enaim, which is on the road to Timnah. She saw that Shelah was grown up, yet she had not been given to him in marriage. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be a prostitute, for she had covered her face. He went over to her at the roadside and said, Come, let me come into you. For he did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. She said, What will you give me, that you may come into me? He answered, I will send you a kid from the flock. And she said, Only if you give me a pledge until you send it. He said, What pledge shall I give you? She replied, Your signet and your cord and the staff that is in your hand. So he gave them to her and went in to her, and she conceived by him. Then she got up and went away, and taking off her veil, she put on the garments of her widowhood. When Judah sent the kid by his friend, the Adamite, to recover the pledge from the woman, he could not find her. He asked the townspeople, Where is the prostitute who was at Enaim by the wayside? But they said, No prostitute has been here. So he returned to Judah and said, I have not found her. Moreover, the townspeople said, No prostitute has been here. Judah replied, Let her keep the things as her own. Otherwise, we'll be laughed at. You see, I sent this kid and you could not find her. About 3 months later, Judah was told, Your daughter-in-law, Tamar, has prostituted herself. Moreover, she is pregnant as a result of the prostitution. And Judah said, Bring her out and let her be burned. As she was being brought out, she sent word to her father-in-law, It was the owner of these who made me pregnant. And she said, Take note, please, whose these are, the signet and the cord and the staff. Then Judah acknowledged them and said, She is more in the right than I, since I did not give her to my son Shelah, and he did not lie with her again. Our New Testament reading comes from the book of Acts, chapter 24, verses 10 through 23. When the governor motioned to him to speak, Paul replied, I cheerfully make my defense, knowing that for many years you have been a judge over the people. As you could find out, it is not more than 12 days since I went up to worship in Jerusalem. They did not find me disputing with anyone in the temple or stirring up a crowd either in the synagogues or throughout the city. Neither can they prove to you the charge that they now bring against me. But this I admit to you, that according to the way, which they call a sect, I worship the God of our ancestors, believing everything laid down according to the law or written in the prophets. I have a hope in God, a hope that they themselves also accept, that there will be a resurrection of both, the righteous and the unrighteous. Therefore, I do my best to always have a clear conscience toward God and all people. Now, after some years, I came to bring alms to my people and to offer sacrifices. While I was doing this, they found me in the temple, completing the rite of purification, without any crowd or disturbance. But there were some Jews from Asia. They ought to be here before you to make an accusation if they have anything against me. Or let these men here tell you that the crimes that they have found when I stood before the council. Unless it is this one sentence, then I called out while standing before them. It is about the resurrection of the dead that I am on trial before you today. But Felix, who was rather well informed about the way, adjourned the hearing with the comment, When Lysias, the tribune, comes down, I will decide your case. Then he ordered the centurion to keep him in custody, but to let them have some liberty, and not to prevent any of his friends from taking care of his needs. And here ends our readings for the day.